You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Wow, my brain is already exploding full. It's that full. Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? We're seeing, folks, the consequences of SHTF. Look at Ukraine not as a conflict where super rich tycoons and government scumbags are trying to take control one side, and Russia and its leaders on the other are trying to take control of it. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as just everyday SHTF and the consequences of it. Coming to America, coming soon, right? SHTF. Now, what happens when that happens? Well, let's take a look at Ukraine. Right now, there are Polish cities in Poland, right, that are being overrun. They're reaching what they're calling capacity. The United Nations says over 3 million refugees have fled to Ukraine. Folks, I believe this can and will happen in America if there is a grid issue here or some other SHTF issue. For example, the grid goes down. People don't have power. There's no guarantee of when it's coming back. They're going to leave the cities en masse, especially if they know in the next state they've got power, or 2 states away, right? If they can make it, if there's a grid down or a fuel shortage, or they're like, we're out of fuel, there's not going to be any, or there was an explosion at a fuel plant, or a pipeline has been taken, hostage again with ransomware. How about this, folks? Food supply failure. Would that cause enormous numbers? Millions, right? So right now, think about this. It sounds really huge. 3 million refugees have fled to Ukraine, and they're overloading the nation of Poland. Folks, 3 million. What is that, Cincinnati? What is that, Cleveland? Indianapolis? Chicago? Pittsburgh? Philly? Baltimore? 3 million? How about this, folks? A nuclear device goes off. It doesn't have to be a giant Tsar bomb. It could be a small, tactical nuke. And when people see that mushroom cloud, that signature mushroom cloud, they'll be like, I'm out of here. Or this, a dirty bomb, right? A radiation bomb full of dirty radioactive crap is turned loose. And people are like, I'm out of here. There's a lot of ways and a lot of reasons, folks, that people would leave cities and overrun other cities, right? And then finally, just plain old fear of a war, an ongoing conflict, violence in the streets. And I've got one hell of an example for you coming right up here. But I want to ask these questions. How will you handle it? Migrating hordes of scared and hungry people. Sad, yes. Dangerous, without question. Because Americans are spoiled. We're used to 3 hots and a cot, a place to sleep that's comfortable, food, water, drink, whatever we want. We're used to it. We're not tough like Ukrainian people. We're not tough like Russian people. We're not tough like African people. We're Americans. We're very spoiled, folks. But I believe that the potential for this is coming, right? Now, after weeks and weeks and weeks, Ukraine has had 3 million refugees leave. I bet we could have 3 million refugees American style in 2 days if a dirty nuke goes off. I see it happening, folks. I see the potential for it at the very least. Let me bring up something that's happening right now. There is a U.S.-Mexico border town. It is now Mad Max war zone. The Mexican border city of Nuevo Laredo has been transformed into a war zone. This is from a news article. After the arrest of a top cartel boss. So change that from cartel boss to drug lord, tribal gang leader in American City. How about this? Dangerous right-wing extremist leader causes his arrest causes the people to retaliate because they love him so much, right? How hard would it be for that situation to come about, where the people are like, you know what, he wasn't a bad guy, he was the good guy, but you want to arrest him? Use the media to portray him as bad, and so there is a huge war started. Not unlike St. George Floyd, where hundreds of people in different cities took to the streets, and it was praised by Democrats. In fact, Democrats wanted to defund the police. Right? They wanted to take away law and order instead of promoting it. Well, imagine that, folks. Imagine what is happening right now. Right? The top drug cartel boss has been arrested in Nuevo Laredo. There's burning vehicles in the streets, gunfire, right? Heavy gunfighting, right? The U.S. consulate goes on lockdown. The U.S. border in the area is shut down, right? This guy, his name is Juan Gerardo Trevino, or El Huevo, the ball. The balls? The leader of one faction of this Northeast cartel, the successor group to the Zetas cartel, right? Oh, by the way, he's also a U.S. citizen, folks. Trevino is on the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol most wanted list. So he's now been arrested, and that city has erupted into a war zone. Imagine if that happened in Chicago. But instead of, mostly peaceful, mostly flaming, mostly rioting, mostly burning and arsoning, mostly looting, it went right to heavy-duty gunfire. All-out war in the streets. The people would leave, would they not? They would flee. And again, it doesn't have to be a cartel or a drug thing. It doesn't have to be a right-wing militia thing. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be anything. It could be anything, not just one particular thing, right? Food, fuel, electricity, a dirty bomb, a nuclear, right, tactical weapon. People will flee, and they'll overrun other cities. Too many people. How will other cities support? See, that's what Poland is saying, is we can't support this many people. We're not built for it. We don't have the infrastructure. What's going to happen to U.S. cities? Do you think U.S. cities can handle 3 million additional people just dumped on them? I know the U.S. is a big country. It's broad. It's wide. Right? I was near Paradise, California, a city that, looked like some kind of space-based weapon was turned loose on it, fried the whole city, literally. And just housing the people from a small, extreme Northern California town was hard enough on hotels in the surrounding cities. Imagine a big city, right? Imagine the San Francisco Bay Area. Would make the Ukraine issue, population-wise, look silly if people had to evacuate. Now, how would you approach that? How would you deal with hundreds and thousands of people migrating into your city? Do you think it would cause your shelves and your stores to be emptied? You bet. Do you think it would strain the water system, the sewer system? Likely. It would certainly be a sad, sad, and terrible situation that we would want to help people with. But supposing, folks, it's the result of a large weapon of war being detonated. The next city over could feel it is next. It's possible the people in that city would feel very threatened and scared. They may be battening down the hatches and saying, hey, we could be next. We can't help you. I mean, who knows what that attitude is going to be? Of course, it's going to be, we want to help, but how? And should we stay in our city, or should we flee our city ahead of the other city fleeing its area? So you go from 3 million to 6 million. And where are they going to go? And what are they going to eat? And how will they be cared for? You can see how quickly, folks, this gets nasty. Now then, this could be used to say, look how bad Putin is. Well, how about look how bad the other side is for pushing this to this extent? You see, the civilians always suffer in war, folks. And SHTF and Mad Max is no different. Right? The people of Nuevo Laredo are not real happy. But that's nothing. That probably won't be much of a news story, just a blip. But the idea of this happening in America won't even make it to the news. The idea that American cities couldn't handle a major evacuation. Big troubles, folks. We need to be thinking about this ahead of time because chance favors the prepared mind. We got more great topics coming up next. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Hit the share button if you're on YouTube. Hit the like button, thumbs up if you're on YouTube. You can use this QR code with your phone. Pause the video, take a picture of this QR code, and it'll take you to our page, a web page that you can share with people and say, hey, go here, look. You can get preparatory items, preps at the club. You can sign up for premium or free news services. It really is, folks, at this point, our duty to help as many people. Because I can help people now, so can you. Get prepared. Once their city becomes Nuevo Laredo or Kiev, it's too late to help them. Because it'll be them and thousands of others or millions of others. So help people get prepared now. God bless. Semper Fi.